Now, Tanzania's economy expanded 6.4% in the third quarter of 2011. Now, that's versus 6.7% a year earlier. Joining us to discuss this is Apronius Mbilinyi. He is an economist at the Economic and Social Research Foundation. Apronius, thanks very much for your time today on CNBC Africa. Let's focus in on the mining sector. We saw a nice turnaround there in quarter three, 1.5% growth from a drop-off in 2010 of 12.3% in quarter three. How sustainable is this growth in the mining sector? What is the outlook?
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you and the listeners. This is not a new story. We here in the country were expecting, in fact, the expectation was worse. The mining sector and somehow recovering, but it is yet to recover to its original level before the global financial crisis. But the major issue contributing to the slow growth of the GDP in the country is the power crisis, as we're having in the country and the other East African community countries.
Yeah.
While in our fellows in Europe, they have the debt crisis, we have the power crisis in the country. This is really affecting the manufacturing sector and the other sectors. As you know, the economy now is more diversified, whereby the service sector contributes more to the GDP level.
Of course, that will also affect investor appetite to put their money into the mining sector. We had rolling blackouts, as you mentioned, over the past year. Give us an idea of what government is now doing to address the big crisis with regards to access to power.
Yeah, the government has taken several measures, short-term and long-term measures. The short-term measures consist of the buying of these generators. This one spends a lot of fuel, which is imported using foreign currencies. That's why you find even the Tanzania shillings had depreciated in the past up to 1,500, up to 700. So it depreciated, but the moment it's somehow stabilizing to 1,500. So the power issue is really affecting the economy. But as I said before, there are long-term measures whereby the country is planning to use the natural resources. As you know, Tanzania is very rich. So there's a lot of coal where the government has embarked into a massive project to produce electricity from coal. And that's stopping, depending from the hydro, which is somehow not predictable due to shortage of rainfall. So yeah, there is a number of projects, future projects to come. But short-term projects, the government has procured generators and to buy fuel to run these generators. But as you know, it has a cost in terms of depreciation of the shilling and other costs. It's very costly to run the thermal power energy.
Yeah, of course, and to keep an eye on where that oil price is going will also impact that, and inflation. Agriculture, talk to us about that. We know that it's been quite fractured in terms of being able to modernize the sector. We've got many regulatory bodies. A lack of funding also plagues the sector, and also high taxes there. What is the government doing to try and boost the agricultural sector going forward?
Yeah, on the agriculture sector, there has been a number of measures. There's a Kilimo Kwanza slogan which has been established to boost agriculture. The government sector is supporting farmers in terms of irrigation and mechanization process, extension process, but somehow it is not well set to reduce the core problems of market. There's a lot of food commodities in Tanzania in terms of maize and other cereals, but the market is somehow restricted. As you know, the government had banned their food exports. This is somehow affecting farmers and really dampening the returns for farmers and even investors. But somehow it's trying to boost agriculture in terms of providing farm inputs and subsidizing the sector, although somehow affecting the budget, the government budget. But the major issue is the power issue. This is really affecting the economy.
Just before I let you go, what are your growth forecasts for 2012? Are you bullish on the economy in light of the power issue and the inflation issue right now?
Yeah, for 2012, really the situation is becoming difficult. The expectation is that the economy might not recover to its original level. So as the IMF had predicted the growth rate to 6%, that might be holding water because the power crisis is still there, although the short-term measures somehow stabilizing the power issue. But there is a higher inflation rate, which is somehow attributed to the higher food prices. So this is really affecting the lives of people in Tanzania. And last week, there was a bad event whereby the government had decided to increase the power price to 40%. This is really going to affect the normal citizens, and even the production cost might go up, while the government income might even drop. So the 2012 is not going to be a good year. And mind you, there is a bad situation whereby the donors' commitment has also declined. This has affected the government budget. And last week, the government announced to cut down its budget by almost 755 billion Tanzania shillings. Yeah. So these are not good news for the country for this year. Yeah. So what I can say, Tanzanians should be prepared for tough and difficult situation given this current crisis.
Well, Apronius, thank you very much for that insight there. Apronius Mbilinyi is an economist at the Economic and Social Research Foundation.